Okay, had just a few little technical difficulties this morning, so let's give it a couple more minutes to let people come in and we'll start the meditation. Okay, thanks for joining this morning. Thank you. Whoever's coming in on Facebook, sorry, had a couple technical glitches, so let's give it another minute or so and we'll start it up. Okay, thanks. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get going. I had a couple technical difficulties, and I see the pictures froze up. Hopefully, we're getting this okay here. I'm going to keep going with it. Let me just get over to Facebook here too. So, just if anybody's commenting, if we're not having good video or anything. There we go. Okay. Okay, Cheryl, I am here. Sounds a bit like a fan in the background, otherwise loud and clear. Oh, let me see. Let me check that. Having good video or anything. Okay, I thought I corrected that picture. Okay, I'm so sorry for that. Let me see here. I just want to see if I can. I think what's happening is my laptop microphone is going and not my new webcam. I thought I had that corrected. Let me look here real quick. Oh gosh, it should be correct on at least from the one software program. Boy, I wish my son was here. He's a lot better at this stuff than I am. Let me see here. Alright guys, sorry. Just give me a moment here. I hate to have that staticky sound in there. That's not... Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to correct this at a different time. It's going to be a little like a fan going in the background, basically. I think it's my laptop. It just doesn't have good audio. I don't know why it's not running through my webcam. Worst case scenario, I go back to my other one, I guess. But any case, thanks for your patience. Let's just notice that there's a fan in the background. Be aware of that, and we'll meditate anyhow, okay? Okay, thanks for joining, and let's see here. Whoops, what do we got here? Get back over here, and we're good to go. Okay, let's meditate. Okay, I've been running around a lot. We're going on vacation this leaving this Thursday to go up north to pick up my son from school. We haven't seen him in 4 months, so I'm looking forward to that. But we have a lot of things to do to prepare our home for my good friend that's going to be staying here and taking care of Bailey while we're gone, who gave us Bailey, who rescued Bailey. So in any case, I've been busy, and it's not surprising that it didn't flow as well as it could have this morning, because that's just kind of what I'm creating right now, a kind of a craziness and busyness. So just relaxing into whatever you're sitting or lying on, and just taking in a nice deep breath. And I don't know about you, but for me, just letting go of all the hurriedness, just really being present and relaxed into this moment, which, by the way, has absolutely everything we need, you need, I need, to just be at peace with everything that's going on. And just allowing your body to completely relax and sink into whatever you're sitting and lying on, so that there's no trying or effort, there's no tension in the body, just letting go of all the tension, all the stress, letting go of all the past, letting go of all the future. We don't need to carry it in our life. We certainly don't need to carry it in this meditation either. And I invite you to let go of any agendas and intentions of how this is supposed to go, and just allow life and God to flow through you and with you and as you during this meditation, so that we don't need to go through the struggle. And if we hold an intention, or we have a certain agenda, then it becomes our meditation rather than the meditation of God and our true self. We don't want the meditation to be about what our mind thinks it should be. We want to just let go of any agendas and intentions so that we can just completely give this over to God and completely give it over to the truth of who you are, which is aligned with God, which is God. I've really been getting in touch with lately about how we create our own realities. And I've heard it said before, and I've taken it to heart to a certain degree, but which was maybe a 2 before, I feel like it's moved up to a 7, where I'm having this awareness that there truly isn't anything wrong with me, wrong with anyone else, or wrong with our world or the universe. Because it truly isn't about being wrong. It's just simply about observing what we think is wrong. Just being an observer of it all. And the other day I was noticing how somebody has frustrated me, and I was noticing the frustration and my disconnection from this person, my anger, my judgment. And so as I was noticing and wanting this person to change, I had a deeper hit, a deeper awareness. Like I had this concept of it before, but it moved beyond a concept into saying, no, 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 no. They don't need to change one single bit. Nothing. You can pick out your worst enemy, and still I would say to you, there is nothing that needs to change about them. And by the way, even if whoever Joe Schmo does change, there's another million Joe Schmoes in the world that are reflecting back exactly what you need to learn, what I need to learn. And so all these so-called enemies, all these so-called challenging people in our life, all these so-called challenging situations in our life, none of it needs to change, actually. The only thing that needs to change is our attitude about it. And how does that change? It changes by us being aware of our judgment, of our blame, of our wanting the situation to be different than what it is, noticing that, and coming back to a place of peace with it. And so As Ram Dass has said, and I'll paraphrase, totally accept your life and others as they are, as life is, and then allow action to arise out of the stillness and the silence within. And you've heard me say that before, but it's the greatest action that we can possibly take. Most of the time when we're taking action, particularly when we're coming from that person of who we believe ourselves to be, then it's rooted in the mind, it's rooted in duality, which means it's rooted in fear quite oftentimes. And so all the actions are based on our judgment, our blame, our need for this person or this situation to be different than what it is. So right now in this meditation, I'm inviting you to let go of your need to have anything about life be any different than what it is, at least for this meditation. And just explore with me if you would. I'm not trying to persuade you or convince you of anything. I am simply offering, as Muji calls it, some pointings. I'm offering some pointings to you so that you can see that you are not these things that are causing you trouble. So that you can have a direct experience of who you are, which is beyond all these troubles, beyond the mind, beyond the suffering, beyond the fears. And when I bring up fear, quite oftentimes what pops in my head is A Course in Miracles. There's either fear or love. So if you're not in love with everything about you and others and life, then there's fear involved. And that's okay. This isn't a beat up session. This isn't trying to make you bad or wrong. It's about bringing your awareness to it. In fact, bringing you to the one who is aware of it. Because that's all it takes. All it takes is to simply observe all these so-called challenges, all these so-called problems, all this so-called suffering and stress and struggle. You know, I know from personal experience, and I doubt there's anyone that has ever walked this planet that has not learned this truth. We all go through stress and struggle. Even the enlightened masters have gone through the same thing, and they will all tell you that they still have certain parts of their person that they are identifying with, albeit they're able to reflect on it very quickly to see that it is not who they am, that they are, and they're able to allow it to pass by very easily and quickly. That's why they can maintain the peace that they do, because they don't fight against any of it. They see that it is all serving a perfect purpose, and not only are they not fighting with it, they're grateful for it. They're grateful for it because when you are flowing with life and God, and you see that God is giving you exactly what you need, what is left other than gratitude? And the mind, the person may say, no, I am not grateful for this situation. Okay, notice that. Just simply notice that. Who is not grateful for it? Is it you, or is it the idea of who you think you are, your person, and your mind is not satisfied? Because the mind is never fully satisfied. It might have glimpses and moments like, maybe it has a windfall of money, now I'm happy. How long will that happiness last? And what happens when you, your body, your mind end up passing away? What is left then? Because the only thing that can remain is that eternal truth of who you are. And so we have to look beyond it for our wisdom, for our intelligence, for our memories that have nothing to do with the mind, even though we have believed it to be so. And that is one of the very reasons we cannot recognize the eternal truth and beauty of who we are. That is right here, right now, in this moment. And you don't need to go anywhere to experience that truth. You don't need to travel all over the world and climb all the mountains, and you don't need to save the world in order to earn this truth so it returns. No, it's not about the truth of who you are returning. The truth of who you are has never left. It is you. You literally don't have to move one single inch, not one single molecule, because it is you. And even though your mind and your ego tells you you have to do something to earn the truth of who you are, that is nonsense. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. You don't have to listen to that. You have been, I have been, we have all been trapped in this illusion called Maya. What is the illusion? The illusion is that we are our thoughts, that we are our mind, that we are our body, that we are our feelings, that we are our perceptions, that we are our actions. But in truth, it is simply consciousness expressing itself through us so that we can begin to recognize, I want to say, the contrast of who we are. When we experience duality and challenges and struggle and stress, we begin to recognize and begin to feel something that is dissatisfying, unsatisfying to us. I don't know if dissatisfying is a word. And we're not satisfied. And we go through all this mental nonsense. And it's really not nonsense, actually. It's all necessary for us to awaken to the truth that we already are, to recognize the truth that who we already are. But first, we have to go through and have these experiences in life that God and life are bringing to us so that we can see, I am not at peace right now. I'm not in my heart right now. And I'm not recognizing the beauty, the love, and the truth of who I am right now. Why is that? What is keeping me from experiencing the truth of who I am right now in this moment? And so life and God come along and say, knock, knock. I'm just going to give you this experience, and the mind and the ego are not going to like this experience because they're judging this experience as wrong, but there's nothing wrong with this experience. There's something wrong with your thinking about it. And that's really what it comes down to. There's nothing wrong with the experience. There's only something wrong with your thinking about it. And that is why any master can be at peace with whatever experience it has, because it's not judging the experience. It's not pushing it away. It's not making it bad or wrong. It's simply recognizing and being aware that when the mind kicks in and the thoughts and the feelings and the perceptions and the actions are all happening, it is simply being an observer of all of it. I have been going through this so-called struggle of whether I'm going to get the vaccination or not. And I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I actually really like when people get the vaccination. And the reason I like when people get the vaccination is because many people come from a place of fear, and in many ways, this can appease their fears where they can live life normally again in many ways. With that said, what I look at within myself is recognizing that God and my true self is bigger than all of this. And as A Course in Miracles says, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists, and therein lies the peace of God. So nothing real can be threatened. The truth of who I am cannot get a virus. It cannot be unhealthy. It cannot be attacked or diminished in any way. Nothing real can be threatened, and nothing unreal exists. The only reason this virus is here is because life and God has brought this experience to us to help us to awaken and remember who we are. And anytime there is stress and struggle, there is always a fear at the very core of it. There's only either fear or love. Fear or love. So when I recognize the truth of who I am, I recognize that this virus is just another illusion. But I also see that other people have their own fears. My son worries about me. My wife worries about me. Others worry about me of not getting the vaccination. And so I am going through this confusion. This is what my struggle is. This confusion of, do I do it for other people so that they can relax and feel safe around me? Or do I simply continue to just have trust and faith in God and know that God is and I am bigger than it all, and the true self can never be threatened? And what so the truth is, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Why? Because if I get the vaccination, can I simply just be aware of what thoughts and feelings come up around that? If I don't get the vaccination, can I simply be aware of what thoughts and feelings come up around that? That's all it is. That's all life is. It's simply about, can I be aware? Can I be a witness to the thoughts? Can I be a witness to the feelings? Can I be a witness to the perceptions? Can I be a witness to my actions? Because I am, and you are not any of those things. Anything that you can be a witness to, you are not. You are not any of those things that you are a witness to. The body, the mind, the thoughts, the feelings, the perceptions, the actions, the five senses, the experiences. You are able to witness all of those things, and therefore those things are not you, because all of those things will come and go. All of those things will come and go. What is it that doesn't come and go? What is it that never passes away? What is it that is the absolute truth of you and God? That is the unchanging you. That is the one who is a witness to all of it, without needing to fix or change any of it. And so I want to just circle back for a moment. So these people that you have described as your enemies, as your nemesis, as your challenges, these are some of the greatest opportunities you have in your life. Because every single one of those people, every single one of those so-called experience or things in your life that you are judging are the very things that all you need to do is simply be a witness to how you are falsely identifying with something that is believing that there is a problem. Let me say that again. The reason there is a problem is because there is some kind of false belief that you have identified with as the truth, and therefore that is a reason this person, this experience, this situation is a challenge, because there's something your mind or your person doesn't like the way it is. That's all it is. And when you recognize this, and when you simply witness all of these so-called bad things or challenging things or all the things that are wrong in the world, that is all rooted in duality of the mind and is rooted in fear, when you recognize that you are simply the witness to all of it and you don't need to fix or change any of it, therein lies the peace of God. Therein lies the peace of God. And so why do we make life so hard? And by the way, that's not something to beat yourself up with. Just simply be aware of that. Oh, I noticed that my person is making life harder than it needs to be. Great. I'm aware of it. Just come back to the present moment. Come back to the silence and the stillness of who you are. So that is all it is. We're doing this dance. This dance of being caught in the mind, in the person, and then recognizing that we're being caught in the mind and the person, and then as soon as we recognize it, just allow those thoughts to gently and effortlessly pass on by and come back to simply being the witness to them. Now, as the person evolves, the person will be a witness to thoughts and feelings and perceptions and actions as well. But the difference between the person and who you are is that the person doesn't like a lot of those things because the person is still rooted in is rooted in duality in many things. Even though you're evolving, you're here, you're listening to this meditation, you're ready to step out of the duality, but the person is still identified in duality in certain areas, and therefore there's certain fears, and because of that, your person may be aware of certain things, but it doesn't mean that the person is going to like them. Your true self is the witness of all those things and is a witness of the awareness of the person as well. You are aware of the awareness, but you, the true you, doesn't need to fix or change any of it. You're simply an objective observer to it all. So these things that you are feeling you want to get rid of and you're fighting against them, these are your teachers. And I gave a talk yesterday at Unity of Grand Rapids online. If you want to watch it, you're welcome to Unity of Grand Rapids. You can catch it, recordings on their website. And the title is What Do We Really Want Out of Life? So I gave the talk and we all met up on Zoom afterwards. And I just got a tap on that from Spirit. I'm not going to share that. So I'm going to just let that go, and let me just invite you right now just to come back to the present moment, come back to the stillness and silence of who you are. All that I really want to share around that is how we are so busy trying to change ourselves, trying to fix ourselves, trying to change or fix others, or trying to change or fix other situations. And it's absolutely not necessary. It doesn't mean that change can't take place. But the best change, the best action, again, is when we step beyond our judgment and our blame and our need for life to be different. We accept the situation, we accept the person, we accept the experience, and then we simply notice it and allow it to pass on by without being pulled into the drama of it. Now, I want to just stop right there, because when I say we accept the situation, we accept the person, what do I mean by that? When I say that let's just say we have a so-called enemy that we don't accept. I'm saying we need to accept it, right? But acceptance doesn't mean that the mind's not going to be in judgment. Acceptance means that we accept the mind, we accept the person, the ego, we accept all of it. We accept the thoughts, we accept the feelings, we accept the perceptions, we accept the actions. We accept all of it, that we are not fighting it. We are at peace with it, and therefore, as the observer and the witness of it, we can allow it to gently and effortlessly pass on by, because we recognize that it is not the truth, and it is not the truth of who we are. You see that? When I'm talking about accepting a person, I'm not talking about denying the thoughts or denying the feelings of anger and frustration. No, no, no. Be aware of those things. Be present with them. Notice, oh, okay, I see that I'm angry. Can I just be present with that? Meaning to still feel it, but not being caught in it. Be in the world, but not of it. And that means simply being present with the thoughts, being present with the feelings, being present with the perceptions, being present with the actions, but not being caught in any of them, and recognizing that you are not any of them. Well, I don't know about you, but that is juicy stuff for me personally, and I love the Holy Spirit shining through and just flowing through me, and as you are manifesting all this too, by the way, too. You are creating your own reality. It is your reality, and that is wonderful news. Why? Because any of these so-called enemies or bad situations, you are never a victim to any of it when you recognize that it is a complete and total reflection of who, I was going to say of who you are, but it's actually a total reflection of who you are not. Because the universe is reflecting, well, no, that's not true. It's a reflection of both. Jesus as a reflection of who you are, as is the Buddha and Krishna and God, as well as there are also your enemies are a reflection of who you are and who you are not. But it's all perfectly reflecting back to you so that you can see who you are and who you are not. If you are not of peace, if you are not in your heart, if you are not in joy, then trust that it is a reflection of who you are not. But all it is a reflection. And the beautiful thing of it is that this so-called challenge, or this thing that has brought up your anger, your frustration, your judgment, your blame, your disappointment, you are totally capable of embracing that, taking 100% responsibility for it, 100% responsibility for it, 100% responsibility for it, because you can only change it if you are 100% responsible for it. That means responsibility, your ability to respond to it. If you do not take responsibility for it, you will not see anything change about it, because when you do not take responsibility for it, you are making it someone or something else's problem, and therefore change can never happen. But true change happens when you take 100% responsibility for it, and you just use it as a tool and a reflection of what you need to see, and then whatever that anger, frustration, disappointment, all those negative emotions come up, you are simply the witness to those things. That's why it doesn't matter how bad the thing seems, when you can take responsibility that for some reason I have created this, and it's not about me being bad or wrong in any way. You do not need to beat yourself up for it. You simply need to be aware of your creation with it. Notice it. Notice the thoughts, the feelings, and everything behind it, and allow it to gently and effortlessly pass on by, because you recognize that it is not the truth of who you are. And so these so-called nemesis end up being your best and greatest teachers, your best and greatest tool for awakening. And so the good news also is that you don't need to wait for them to change. You do not need to wait for them to change. That is being a victim. Of the fully empowered truth of who you are is taking 100% responsibility for them being a perfect, beautiful, manifested mirror for you, and then looking within yourself as to what the truth is and how you can be at peace with it. And you can be at peace with it by simply observing it, being a witness to it, and recognizing that you are not that. And just allowing yourself to just bathe and marinate in this vibration. And if there is anything left that is less than peace, joy, love, God, I invite you just to let that go right now, at least for the remainder of this meditation. That's the invitation. If there's any stress or struggle that remains in any way, just completely let it go. Just give it back over to God right now. God will gladly, gladly take it back from you. And to just give you that experience, that direct experience of who you are right now in this moment, that is beyond the stress and struggle, beyond the fears, beyond the mind, beyond the body. You are the formless, shapeless, non-physical witness to all of it. And just look at that. Just look at that. To be conscious and aware, it does not take anything physical. It doesn't take any intelligence. It doesn't take any wisdom. Even a little baby. I don't know if I want to say wisdom. It doesn't take any intelligence or knowledge. It doesn't take any intelligence or knowledge to see that you exist. Even a little tiny baby recognizes, I'm here. I am here. So I want you to see that there's nothing physical required to recognize that you are here, that you exist. That is awareness. There's awareness that you exist, is there not? And if you didn't have this physical body or this physical mind, you would still have this awareness that you exist. So you are the non-physical that is aware that the body is here, that the mind is here, the thoughts are here, all those things are here, but you are not that. And so just letting go of all of those things. Anything that you are a witness to, anything that can be seen, you are not that. You are the watcher of that. You are the witness of that. You are the one that is simply observing all of it without needing to change any of it. And if thoughts come in, just simply notice them. You don't need to fight or struggle with them in any way. It really is like a cloud passing by. It really is. Why is that? Because when you look at the cloud and you recognize that you are not the cloud, you don't need to fix it. You don't need to change it. You don't need to analyze it. You don't need to try to get rid of it. You don't need to fight with it in any way. It's no different than the thought. Please hear that. It is no different than the thought, because you are not the thought. You don't need to fight against it. You don't need to try to fix it or change it. You don't need to analyze it. You don't need to try to get rid of it, because it is not you. It is simply consciousness expressing itself through you to help you to see things and experience things that you need to see and experience, so that you can become a witness to those things and see that that is not the truth of who you are. And in that seeing, you return to the witness and the truth of who you are. You return home. I'm noticing I'm having a little fear come up about something, which I will share with you, because I have an invitation for you. Much of the teachings that I use are from Mooji, Mooji. And the truth is, there are things that he recognizes that I do not. And so my fear is, which is not the truth of who I am, and nothing unreal exists. It's just of the mind, but it's a belief that I'm hooked into in some ways, and I'm going to be a witness to that. I want to invite you to explore with Mooji. I want to invite you to see if Mooji can take you to a level that I can't take you to. Not right now. I am putting my trust and faith in God, and even Mooji is my teacher, we are all one with each other. It doesn't matter. But my fear is that I will lose you to Mooji. But what's also true for me, let me speak, and this feels very beautiful and powerful for me, to be honest with you. The beautiful truth is there's nothing to lose. And the beautiful truth is God will always bring me the experiences that I need to awaken to the truth of who I am. So I don't want to play small. If every single one of you leave to explore with Mooji, not because I invited you, but because you are called to explore, then I hope you go for it. And when one door closes, another one opens. I'm not saying goodbye. But I am saying I'm grateful for all of you who have continued to be here to meditate with me. And I also want to recognize that I always want to be 100% as honest with you as I can. And my honesty reflects back to my own fear, and I don't want to come from a place of fear. And I want to, absolutely want and choose to support you in a way of you awakening and recognizing the very truth of who you are. And in that process, for me, speaking these words that I invite you to explore with Muji are beautiful and powerful and freeing for me personally, because I don't want to hold on to any fears. And as much as I appreciate how some of you show up almost every day, I don't want to hold onto the attachment that that's where you need to be. And I invite you to let go of your attachments that this is where you need to be. And if it shows up for you to say, no, I still feel called to be here, great, wonderful. But if you say, I feel within you said, no, I feel called to explore Muji, or at least check him out, great, that's perfect as well. It's all perfect. And I get to be a witness to my fears. I get to be a witness to how beautiful it feels for me to express this, even though I am afraid. And that's called courage, when we have a fear, but we do it anyway. So I invite you to be courageous and do whatever your heart calls to you, whether it's Muji or Eckhart Tolle or me or whoever it is. And again, just coming back to the stillness and the silence of who you are right now. You are everything you've been seeking, and even the Eckhart Tolles and the Mujis are just another reflection. Even God is just another beautiful, perfect reflection as to who you are. But it moves beyond a reflection. It isn't even fair to say, because that's as if it's not who you actually are. You are that. I am that. And to say actually that you are a reflection of God, God might be reflecting back the beauty and truth of who you are, but you are even beyond describing beauty and truth. You are beyond any description, beyond any labels, beyond any conditioning, beyond any stories or self-images. You are simply loving, conscious awareness, if we have to put a label, description, and words to it. You are the one who is aware of the labels, aware of the descriptions. And just coming back to the stillness and the silence of who you are, the emptiness of who you are. And if your mind has drifted, just simply coming back to the present moment, coming back to the stillness and the silence and the beautiful, empty truth of who you are. Before we finish this meditation, there's something else I want to say about taking 100% responsibility that this reality is yours. Eckhart Tolle was once asked by a student, how do we deal with all the pollution in the world? And he said, if you want to heal the pollution in the world, heal your own inner pollution. Everything that you do, the world will reflect back to you as it perfectly needs to. But what's also true is taking 100% responsibility doesn't mean you are responsible for taking action on every single thing. You can't do that. It's not possible. Not at this level, at least. What it does mean is by you taking 100% responsibility that this is the reality you have created, you can look at those things that are most calling for your attention, that are perhaps bothering you the most or you feel called to spend the most time with. It doesn't mean that you have to spend time healing the pollution. It may be that you feel called to heal social justice, or we have to be careful of getting caught in duality of all of this. But my point is, you can only take action from the deepest place by taking 100% responsibility that this is the reality you created. The more you take responsibility, the more spirit will kick in to support you on your awakening. So it's simultaneous. You feel called to take action on something, and it's simultaneously in the path with your awakening, because God sees that this is your calling. God actually puts this in your being, that is, you have this desire to pursue meditation or art or music or whatever it is. You feel called to act on that thing. But the deeper we take responsibility for all of this, all of our reality, then it gives God and your true self a chance to act out of the perfection of life. And I don't know if those words landed, and I think that's all I wanted to share. I just don't want you to feel that you have to carry this burden on your shoulders because now you've taken 100% responsibility for the whole universe, which is yours, but you're only going to be given the task which you can handle. That's the best way maybe to speak that. You will only be given the task that you can handle, but take responsibility for all of it so that God can give you whatever task is needed. Because if you're blocking yourself, not taking responsibility in one area, it may be the very area that God wants to support you with to help you to let go of your limited beliefs and fears around that. And so again, the beautiful thing is, by taking 100% responsibility that this is the reality that you create, then there is nothing that you can't recreate in a way of joy and peace and love. But ultimately, you are simply the observer of all of it. And there's actually not even anything to create ultimately. You are already perfect, as is the awareness and truth of who you are. I feel like I might have opened up a can of worms there and brought up other things, but it is what it is. I think we're going to leave it at that because there's just so much more we could dive into in that, and we'll see if it maybe presents itself next time. Okay, so for those of you who would like to meditate more, please mute or turn your device off. And thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate that. And also, for those of you who would like to finish meditation, I invite you just to take in a nice deep breath and just really be present in this wonderful physical body that gets you around in this experience, and maybe moving it around a little bit, stretching, wiggling fingers, toes. And I can almost do a full stretch. I still feel my ribs, and I need another maybe week. But hopefully it'll be mostly gone by the time I do my vacation coming up Thursday. So everybody, I will not be leading meditation from Thursday of this week all the way through the following, for the following week as well. So there's YouTube, there's meditation with some previous meditations. There's Muji. I invite you to check him out. He's just a gentle soul that really, if you haven't explored with him, he's there. He's there. And he doesn't need to close his eyes for any of it. It just, I don't even want to say that. That's just another label. So, but just to be in his presence, video or not, is just a beautiful, beautiful experience. So, so that being said, I love you guys. I'm grateful for you, and I'm just going to take a peek in. We'll do Facebook first. I'll take a look over there and see what we have. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. You guys made some comments earlier. Let's see. Let's see. When you speak, the sound diminishes slightly. Sorry, Cheryl. I'm really sorry for that, you guys. I'll see if I can get this corrected. I do believe this webcam is supposed to be excellent. And when I'm on Zoom, the clarity is really good. So there's something in the software that I haven't learned in the settings. I use OBS and I use Restream, and together there's something missing with them. So sorry for that. I'll see if I can get that corrected. Marjorie, thank you so much for joining, Marjorie. Nice to have you here. You're welcome. And Michelle, you're welcome. Thanks for joining, Michelle. I greatly appreciate that. If anyone else wants to make any other comments or questions or any of that, you're welcome to. And let me swing over to YouTube and see. That you're welcome to. And let me, yeah, I see that unfortunately visual and audio are very clear here. Okay, yeah, but I do hear Sandy. That you're welcome to. That's, of course, that's double feedback because I'm listening to the video, but I do hear some staticky. It shouldn't be that way. It should be nice, crisp, and clear. So I'll keep working on that. Worst case scenario, we make it through Thursday, or make it through Wednesday, and then my son will come back, he just finished up with his math degree, and he's getting a degree also in computer science. So he should be able to handle it, hopefully. And Sandy, when you believe your job is to fix others, it is such a burden. Absolutely. Enlightenment brings freedom. Good stuff all around here. So glad you enjoyed it, Sandy. Thanks for the feedback. And I think that is about it. Let's see, Cheryl, no apologies, just letting you know how it sounds to me. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. I do appreciate that. And like I said, I'll work on getting that squared away. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. And you know what? Actually, I said Wednesday. Maybe I'll do a meditation on Wednesday also, because since I'm going to be going on Thursday, I think I'll do a meditation on Wednesday. So, okay. It was a perfect message. Thanks, Michelle. Okay, you guys. Love you guys. I will maybe see you tomorrow morning. Okay? All right. Bye-bye. Hi, Rob.
Hey, Brett, how you doing?
Good. I literally just finished my meditation, and so I had my phone turned off, and I saw it buzzing down there, so good timing.
Good. I thought maybe you did it from 10 to 11. I wasn't sure, and I just left an appointment here. And really can't text much right now.
Oh yeah, did you get my? Oh, you probably didn't read my text then.
I kind of glanced through it, but again, I was driving. I had to get to my
Oh,
appointment,
okay.
so
Yeah, no worries.
uh,
Yeah, I'll
yeah.
call. I can call Jessica. I called there yesterday because mom's button wasn't working again, and I wanted to get that squared away. And that's, there's really no excuse for that because that is her lifeline, obviously, to them.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I did tell her. I said, she has the number to Vista Springs now, so I said just call the front desk if they're not answering. But any case, so yeah, I will call on that. So did we not have I know it listed the levels of care on that brochure. Was it just not detailed on there?
It only gives the pricing. It doesn't say what you're getting.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah.
yeah, so we looked through that again and looked at that was what I first called on last Monday, a week ago today.
Yeah.
And Jessica's never had the decency to call me back on that. And I know she's been out with COVID. So I go, who's handling these things? I swear nothing's getting done there at all.
Well,
You know?
right. I mean, the blood pressure thing, the fact that they haven't gotten her blood pressure medication, that is really crazy, you know.
Well, I know, and they don't realize because I asked Mom, is she still refusing her blood pressure medicine, and she should be refusing it
Yeah.
because she says, I said, well, they're taking it daily, and I said, well, that's good, and she says, and my blood pressure's good. I said, don't take any at all, then
Absolutely. I know.
yeah, so
And actually it was a good mistake. I was glad for that because her blood pressure I continue to ask her and every day it's
yeah,
where it needs to be, you know.
right, exactly. So there's just no need for. I'm so glad she's good. Well, another thing I want to call you about is Scott called me while I was on my way to the appointment. They had to take Deb to the hospital. She decided she needed to go to the hospital.
Oh boy. Okay.
I know it. Yeah,
And Mike is feeling better?
not really. He still sounds pretty bad according to Scott, and so I'm not sure. But he was the one taking Deb to the hospital.
Okay.
And then he told Scott, I'm getting the information from Scott that they were going to give Mike some medication of some sort, but I don't believe he's going to stay. He
Okay.
didn't want to stay, but I said, okay, well, get what you need. Get some IVs or whatever. Let them address the issues.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and
Because I
I've
am concerned about Deb.
yeah, I am too. I did call her yesterday. Well, I've called her a few times, but I recognized that she didn't want to answer, so I've been texting her. But yesterday I called and just spoke to her just for a few moments, just to just connect and hear her voice a little bit. But yeah, I know. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Did did you talk to mom?
I did not. I talked to her twice yesterday. She called me again last night, and that was to tell me that now they don't have her heart medication. I said, "You've got to be kidding me!" So I talked to Joanne at the front desk last night. I said, "Hey, what's going on here? Now Mom doesn't have her heart medication." And I was very nice about it. I go, "This
Yeah,
just doesn't seem right." I said, I'm only 2 hours away. If I need you to come up there, I'll come up there and get the prescription. What do we have to do to get her heart medication?
yeah,
This is serious.
I know.
And she said, no, I know. Sorry about that. Just digital lip service. I said, I need Jessica to call me tomorrow.
Yeah,
And I said, would you leave her about these two issues, about
yeah,
her heart medication and then also I wanted to follow up on the level of medical care and I wanted to follow up on her blood pressure. I wanted to follow up on her button, and all of these things. What
yeah.
the hell? What's going on there?
Yeah, yeah. Well, so as far as let's see, so is are you were you wanting her to send you an email with information or
I
do,
would like something structured to say, hey, here's what it is. Because currently, it's like the fox and the hen house here,
mm-hmm.
because they make the evaluations. They've decided what they're going to charge based on mom's level of care.
Yeah,
So I
right.
go, well, what is
Right,
the
right,
structure?
right, right, right. Yeah. No, I absolutely
And
I agree with
not to
you.
mention, you're not even doing that.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I know that she's getting above and beyond anybody else is now they're having to bring her food to her because she's got COVID.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we're not even sure she didn't get it there, frankly.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Mike was sick, a few days before that though, so I have a feeling it's probably him, and I don't know if anybody else has it there at Vista, do they or not?
Yeah, her husband has it. She has it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then there was one other person I understand having it. And this was told to me by the girl that works there. That
Mm-hmm.
last week I spoke with a girl named Ashlyn.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday I spoke with a girl
Okay.
I keep track of. I'm keeping score.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
And anyway, so yeah, I just can't get her to call me back. And I go, I hope your pregnancy. I hope you're. But she's had COVID for 2 weeks because she's just now getting over her COVID. By the way,
Mm.
Jessica is.
Okay.
So this is nothing new. So I'm not sure what the whole timing is there to say. Wait, maybe that's not what's important because I believe businesses are not being held accountable. I don't know about in homes, but at least regular businesses are. Like Walmart is not being held accountable for people getting COVID there, which is understandable, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about with assisted living, so I don't know how much responsibility. I'm not looking at finger point. I'm like, let's get this resolved,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. Okay. Well, how did mom sound today?
I didn't talk to her today. I talked to her twice yesterday. I honestly had so much on my plate starting right out of the gate this morning, and I've been running appointments, so I have not talked to her today. At some point, I'll probably talk to her early afternoon in between two calls.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
I'm gonna I'll call her in a little bit, but I'll call the desk and see if Jessica's available first.
yeah.
But
I did try to call Jessica at 9 o'clock this morning, and the girl told me that she was not in her office.
okay.
I said, I didn't have time to wait or do anything else, so I said, okay, I'll call back.
So I don't feel good about. I just want to check in with you. I don't feel good about not sharing with mom about Deb going to the hospital. She might already know. I don't know, but I'm not of that feeling that it's her daughter and she deserves to know. So
I agree. I agree with you. Scott asked me about that too. And I said, well, maybe we just hold off until this afternoon would be the only thing. And when do we know more? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say there's any right or wrong. If you feel like it's in the moment, you talk to mom and you mention it to her, then I'm good either way.
and that's probably what I'd do just to see if it flows in that direction. If it naturally, organically unfolds that way, I'll mention it. If not, I'll let it be. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, okay. How you doing? You doing okay?
Just busy, you know. We did go up to see mom on Saturday. Caitlin and Cody and Linda and I went up there to, just go stand at the window and talk to her on the phone. And she looked about the same. I think she's doing okay. I don't think she's gotten any worse or any better. But
Right, right. Yeah. I know. I'm just hoping as time goes by, her body's kind of building up, things that it needs to. I'm
right,
I'm really happy that it hasn't gotten worse, especially looking at, how it has been for Deb and Mike.
right, and they probably had it before mom.
Yeah, yeah, well, right, because Mike had it actually. He got it, I think it was either the Tuesday or Wednesday after that Saturday we all met. So
Then
he
he was tested positive. He might have had it a little bit bad, but
Well, right. Well, no, that was when he wasn't feeling well. He hadn't even been tested at that point in time.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So, in any case, that's why I didn't know if anybody else had ended up getting it from Saturday. We got well. Of course, I know Linda got tested too. So I'll probably get tested. Laura's actually getting her first vaccination today. And we're going to see Chad on Monday, stay at his Airbnb. So I'll probably get tested on Wednesday just to make sure we're good and clean, and at,
Yeah,
at least
right,
at least as much as you can be, from that.
right.
So
I know.
yeah,
Um, I know. I was concerned about it. Like, man, the last thing I needed to do was get COVID, and of course, anybody. I mean, nobody wants to get it, but Lynn and I get our second vaccine on Friday. So
okay,
even,
yeah,
by the way, after you get your vaccine, there's still 7 to 10 days probably before that even helps.
yeah,
And then after the second vaccine, I understand that the 7 to 10 days before that has full efficacy. And then
yeah,
I saw just on the news this morning, they're probably going to confirm that we're going to have a booster every 6 to 12 months,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
based on this strain. So I don't know. I guess just FYI.
yeah. Right, right. Good news is I did see that after they said yesterday on the news that they said actually after the first shot kicks in that it's actually 80% effective. So they have I guess about
Yeah,
8% of the people don't even go back to get the second shot booster shot for because either they get it in a different area and they're not aware of it or they don't feel like they need it or whatever. But I guess eight.
what's interesting?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, I've heard that too. What's interesting about the second shot?
Yeah, yeah,
what does that mean? Does
right.
that mean your body isn't as good as we think it is, or what does that mean? You know?
Yeah, I agree with you. In fact, who was it that I was just? Oh, yeah, I did a talk yesterday at Unity of Grand Rapids online, and the office manager said she got her second shot, and she said, yeah, she wasn't feeling well at all, and I have heard of some instances of that for sure.
Yeah, it seems to be more the norm that you're going to get some symptoms from the second shot. So again, if that's the case, like next the question is like, how important is the second shot? You know, is it helping, hurting, or
Right,
what?
right, right. And is it Pfizer or Moderna? Do you know?
Yeah, and we did the Pfizer, and we're so we didn't know yet, yeah. And so by the way, Linda lost her cousin-in-law, I'll call it, her cousin's husband, just died of COVID last week, and he had his first shot, but we don't know. We don't want to ask, about well, when did he get his shot, and then how did he get COVID after that? Because
Mm-hmm.
there is a period of time that you have to wait, and he ended up dying from COVID
Wow.
you know. And
Well,
she'd had both of her shots and never got COVID from him.
yeah.
So
Well, yeah, and I think there's a almost like a relaxation maybe where you let your
right,
guard down where because
yeah,
well I've gotten the vaccine, so it is good. Laura's been very conscientious of all this. She's like, we even had Brian over because he's taking care of Bailey for the week where we're gone, and Brian's been vaccinated, but she reminded me, she's like, just because he's been vaccinated doesn't mean he's
exactly.
going to carry it over to us, so
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
And we've known two other couples that have both gotten COVID. Rick and Nancy, right across the street, got COVID after they had the first shot.
yeah.
Not related to the shot, but like you're saying, did they relax? And now we're not being as careful because we had our shot. Because there's like a 7 to 10 day period before, it might be helpful. And then also her friend, Tracy and her husband, that used to work with Linda, same thing. They got the shot and they both ended up getting COVID as well.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, well,
So
this new variant seems to be really. They've expressed that some of the new variants are much more contagious, and it sure seems to be reflecting that in different ways.
yeah, I don't know. I thought the other one was pretty bad, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's spreading like wildfire, just like the first one did.
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, okay. Well, I'm just about to where I need to be, so
Okay, Rob.
I'll check in with you more later. Thanks,
Oh,
Don.
okay, yep, yep, sure, happy to. All right, I'll see you later.
Okay.
All right, see you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's see here.